Hi, it's John from Crescente. These are my recommendations for answering CMI Unit 526, Task 1, AC 1.2. So let's take a look. We've got the assignment brief on the left-hand side here. And for our learners, this is our template document, so I've just found the relevant parts there. This question then, AC 1.2, says evaluate the use of 2 theoretical approaches to responsible leadership. The same or similar guidance is over here in the answer booklet, the template. So we've got a few things to unpack here. Firstly, this is an evaluate question. If you're going to evaluate something, you need to give the pros and cons and then a suitable conclusion at the end. So evaluate questions, pros, cons, conclusion. Sometimes it's similarities and differences and conclusion or whatever. It depends what you're evaluating. So for this one, the thing that we need to think about here is the use of. Evaluate the use of 2 theoretical approaches. So we need to look at some theoretical approaches, obviously, and I'm going to show you some of those, some recommendations in a minute. And it does say responsible leadership. It is quite common. We've been running this unit for quite a while. Often people choose just sort of fairly general leadership models and approaches that and then you can write about those. But I'm going to really try and urge you to focus more on responsible leadership specifically, because that is the question. And just want to jump back to this idea of the use of theoretical approaches. These are vocational qualifications, so as such, really what we need to do is show that we can apply the learning. So thinking about maybe some examples from your own workplace, either current or previous. If you're not a manager or a team leader yet, then that's fine. You can answer these sort of hypothetically, like as what you would do as if you were the manager. So with that in mind then, it's the theoretical approaches that are listed here. If I just jump over to preview for a minute, I've just chosen 3. So what are we looking to do then? If I just start with this middle one, this is Mary Gentile's values-driven leadership. So if you're one of our learners, we'll send you this article. You can also find it on Management Direct, either the Crescent version or the generic version of that. I would expect you to read through this, and it has some specific strategies and tools that are mentioned. And then really it's about you evaluating how useful you think this is. So where this author is talking about these approaches, then what do you think of this? Is it useful or not? So it's useful because maybe it's quite straightforward or it's well structured, but maybe it's not useful because of a particular contextual thing, particular sort of feature of your workplace. Let's say you work remotely and it doesn't apply to that or something. That may be a con. So it's about pros and cons of how useful this this approach or this theoretical model is. And then another one that I'd recommend that's quite a bit more reading is this one over here. So Pless, Mark and Waldman. You could read through this article. There's some nice figures and tables. There's some good detail in here. And these authors identify a number of, I think it's 4 different approaches. And again, we could just take a little bit of time to study and unpack this. Again, give us a call if you want to talk through this, or it might be something that we would do in group work if we're running a corporate program for you. So we can work through this. We can get to understand their traditional economist, opportunity seeker, etc. Their orientations towards responsible leadership. Let's understand that, but let's evaluate how useful this is. Okay, so it may be how easily could you as a manager apply this at work? So let's just jump back over to the Word document then. What we've put in our template is we're recommending that you use that as the the theoretical model as a subheading. So I've just put it as an example, but if you do it like that and then you add the full reference in a table either at the bottom of the page using the references feature of Word or right at the end of the document, that would be good. But you've clearly already referenced it here, which is nice, and then you can provide your evaluation in here. So it's useful because, or it's, you know, it's limited in its use because. Remember, with evaluation questions, it's good to use the word however in the middle. So it's good, it's good, it's good. However, these are the drawbacks. So give your pros and cons for that one. Merry Gentiles, values-driven leadership, really interesting. So that one, again, your pros and cons. And then typically a conclusion. So you need to draw a conclusion from an evaluation because you've been sort of evaluating something and then you need to decide whether it's, you know, what your conclusion is. Yeah, great. So there are lots of other models. There's more recent stuff than that. Again, if you want any recommendations, depending, you know, specific to your role or your industry or something like that, then of course we're here to help you with that. So please get in touch. So that is Unit 526, Task 1, how to answer AC 1.2. So I hope you found that useful. Thanks.